Oh, that's what I meant. Yeah. Yeah, Streamlabs OBS. Yeah. Right. Yeah. 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 Right. Yeah. Well, Streamlabs is nice too. You know, I like. You know, I would use OBS. You know, yeah. If I didn't have Streamlabs, I imagine. It's like that open source stuff. I love it. Yeah. Oh, I remember this. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Right. Yeah, I really need to. I wish I would have stuck with GitHub when I first started using it back in the day. That's right. Yeah. Well, me too. Yeah. Somewhat. I've been looking at Kate's Kubernetes, and I've seen the Jenkins name a few times. Is that like a? It's maybe a not a repository,
Uh,
but
okay, there we go. Sweet. So that's showing up as mono. I think that the very beginning of the stream was cutting out with my vocals because I have not streamed in a long fucking time. But yeah, basically we're just trying to fucking stand some shit up, and we were talking about. So I was just talking about the thing about just having everything as code in version repository with commits. It's a pain in the ass,
yeah.
bro. It literally took a Brandon fucking ninja on here. Uh, just got an honor roll. Okay. So Pocket, do you build nodes and you could test them before you stake them with an actual thing?
Uh,
how do you work through
yeah,
doing
you can
that?
do that.
Do you have any like
That's
documentation or something I could look at to get an idea?
sure. Uh, where do you want me to put it? I'm on
Uh, I think
Wi-Fi mobile.
I think that the best channel to probably be in should just be stream chat because DevOps streams, right?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it might have been me cutting out earlier because
Oh no,
It was on
in
it was
OBS
on
I
Wi-Fi.
had the wrong fucking device set for my microphone.
Oh,
So
okay.
I didn't notice until I looked at little meters on the left hand side. You know, I was like, oh shit. I'm actually gonna get a Roadcaster. It looks really cool. And there's this guy that I went to high school with, and I just went to my 20-year high school. I think the last time I talked to you, I told you I was going to my 20-year high school reunion. I was like, wish me luck. Was that like two
Yeah,
weeks ago, something like that?
I think so.
Yeah, man. And it was fucking stupid, bro. Like, I don't know what your upbringing was like, man, but for me, I
Right.
grew up as like a super dirt poor, generational poverty, trauma, fucking autism family, you know,
Yeah.
in a really, it was a working class but suburb neighborhood because of white flight and sprawl, you know? And my parents, both of my parents fucking together, they barely made any. Like, I was dirt poor. I did not know how poor I was growing up until I was in my mid 20s making more than both my parents put together ever had, you know? Um, so, like, um, I did not really fit in at all because I was a mega turbo little fucking autistic kid, right? And now they have supports and they have, you know, things and experience and oh, run nodes powered by Gitbook. Open original. Is that a PDF or oh
No,
no.
that's the actual link to the docs, and it's just the very beginning, and so that's where I
Oh, it
started.
says a thumbnail. Huh. Yeah, it's that link you just gave me. I think it's because you're on mobile, homie. Let me
No, 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 I dropped
Pocket.
that. Hold on. You see, it says docs.pokt.network /home /node.
Oh
If you
yeah.
just click that
Okay,
URL,
there we
I'll get
go.
I'll get rid of the.
I got it. Sorry, bud. Yeah.
That's all right. You can cut out that. What is it? Let's see here. This will remove
Zero
all
to node.
embeds.
I think zero to node is what we want to do here. Many different ways. Keep it simple.
The 0 to node. Let's see where you went. You went to there. Okay, so let me go to the 0 to node. Yeah, that's a good place to start. It looks like they updated it. A lot of this information was old, um, and then they updated over time to keep it updated. But it uses Go, and you know that's
So what
the
is it?
main thing.
What is the big thing about Pocket in the sense of what makes it performant? I mean, do you need to throw more compute at it, or what? How do you get the best return off of these?
Okay, so there's two ways, right? You can just uh, buy Pokt and stake. Your goal would be to stake it and then get somebody to run it for you, right? Like you don't know anything about computers, so you just go to one of the companies that offer it as a service, and then so they set up the node for you. And once the node is staked with your Pocket, then it works. It's a validator node, and a validator basically just validates relays in the network. So it's validating relays for Ethereum, Harmony, uh, and a whole bunch of other chains. And for doing that work, it gets a percentage, right?
Right, right.
So,
Well,
so
I'm just saying,
they it
what impacts how much work it does with the compute that's allocated?
how
Like,
many chains you have, it how many chains you have dedicated to it.
oh yeah.
So it can handle up to 15 chains in this current version.
Hmm.
So, and then the goal eventually is for it to handle 100 chains. But right now it's doing 15 chains. And so basically, you just, for those 15 chains, you want to use the top relay provider, or the one with the most relays every day. And so now uh, Pokt is doing a billion relays a day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so and it's taken months to get to that much. It used to be 100,000 relays a day, and then they added another network, and then now it's 200,000. You know, and then Harmony was one of their biggest ones they added some months ago, like around I guess December um, or November of last year. They added Harmony, and that was a good 200 something million relays a day, and each Pocket node gets a small percentage of all those relays,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and uh, and that changes over time. So
Right.
back when Poct was $3, it was $3 for one Poct at one point. We were doing 800 Poct to 2,000 Poct a day. This was back in December, January, and then it got put out on the markets, like on all the exchanges. Not all of them, but one at first, and then they added another one. Now it's in like seven, I think, six or seven, and you know, um, you could buy POC there and sell it if you wanted. Yeah, that's when it went. I guess they call it public. It was before that. It was OTC. Uh, that's where you had to buy it and sell. Um, but now it's like I guess each one's doing like 20, 30, 40. Let's just say 0 to 100 pucks a day. Sometimes it's higher, and which doesn't seem like a lot, but there's a lot going on right now in the market. So everybody's just kind of holding, you know, while the market's down, uh, and we'll see where we're at in a few months. But it's definitely not going away. Uh, they just changed some of the uh, like mechanics on how it works by passing a proposal recently that changed the whole staking aspect of it, and they made it 5 tiers now, so you can have one node that's 15,000 pocket, and that's the bottom tier. So that's like the entry level point, and then the second tier would be 30,000 pocket. The third tier would be 45,000 uh, pocket. The fifth tier would be 60,000 pocket, or excuse me, the fourth tier would be 60,000 pocket, and the fifth would be 75,000 pocket. And it's called weighted staking. So the more pocket you have, the more relays, uh, the different inflation adjusted. Uh, so it gives incentive to stake more. Uh, so it's pretty interesting. So now there's about 40. There was 40,000 nodes, 40 something. At their peak, it was like 56,000 nodes, I think. And then the market took a bad hit, and the price took a hit, and 5,000 nodes unstaked. So it became closer to 50,000. And then over time, it was 48,000 nodes for like a month around there. And then they just passed a new proposal that does the weighted staking. So now a whole bunch of people are on staking. There's like 30 something thousand nodes now, which is still a lot. Um, but everybody's consolidating their nodes to get that fifth tier or third tier, somewhere around there. And they just keep updating and releasing info, and it just keeps evolving as the market changes. So it's pretty interesting. I've been doing this for about a year and a half.
Nice.
Yeah.
I know
And what's
you and Jinx have been really hitting that shit really hard, man.
yeah.
You should try to get him on this call with us, man. That'd be fun. What's he doing these days?
I think he's running Pocket Pool,
Hmm.
and Pocket Pool is a pooling service where you go and stake your nodes for free, but it's a percentage. So you share. It's called rev share. So you share some revenue with them, and then they disperse the funds back to you in like interest over time.
Hmm.
So it's pretty neat service. Uh, what else? There's just a whole lot, man. There's a lot of. I've been watching this thing for a while now, and it's pretty interesting. I was pretty concerned because of the market and how you this market has totally destroyed a whole bunch of shit coins. You know, if you know the term. Uh, but Pokt isn't a shit coin, so it's a utility token. That's why you still see it around.
Hmm.
It's just like a lot of the big wealth has disappeared from Bitcoin temporarily because they had to pay their calls out in the big bank world in Wall Street, you know. And it's pretty funny too because I found a usefulness for it. If you're like a hedge fund manager or something like that, you just throw it in Bitcoin
Yeah.
and some of it, you know what I mean? And then you just make your plays um, in the market, you know, whatever stocks you're trading or shorting or whatever they do. And when they make a bad call, they can just take it from Bitcoin.
Hmm.
Oh, I gotta pay. I made a real bad call. Shoot, I owe $10 billion. Just let me. It's a loss. Let me get some Bitcoin. And that's a whale. You know what I mean? It
Hmm.
takes the whole Bitcoin. So that's basically what's happening with Bitcoin and all that. Which you know what that means? It's a fire sale. That's what the whole crypto boot camp would say.
Hmm.
Uh, fire sale pricing, and so a lot of people seem to think Bitcoin's going to go down to 15,000, 12 to 15,000,
Hmm.
and I think that's a possibility. So we'll see.
Hmm.
Um, you know, a lot of people were thinking. Me personally, I was thinking, 20,000 would be the buying point, but now as we get more info on how the whole economy's doing, it's like, okay, so 15,000 should be the next 12 to 15,000 should be the next fire sale. And you just kind of like DCA, dollar cost average, just kind
Hmm.
of buy a little bit at whatever point it is here and there. That's how I understand it.
Yeah, I found out 2 days ago I have to declare bankruptcy. That's fun.
Oh yeah,
I'll just
right, right.
all this fucking mud that my wife drug me through, dude. And she basically had
Yeah,
me gooned up, thrown to the hospital. I couldn't pay the mortgage, and
I know the whole story.
yeah, it's stupid. But you
That's
know what?
right.
It's not her fault anywhere near as much as fucking Spokane, Washington, and society's fault. You know, like
Yeah,
what she did. Like I was really, really angry and hurt and wounded. I mean, like I kind of feel like it was the adult equivalent of like getting diddled by your uncle that you've like had a good relationship with for like 10 years.
yeah,
Fucking over a summer or something. It was bad.
hmm,
It was a really bad thing, and I haven't seen my son for
yeah,
10% of his life now. I haven't seen him since the middle of
yeah,
February. Not because there's any reason why I should be prohibited from seeing my son, but because I can't get an attorney to represent me, and my wife
yeah,
inflicted so much domestic violence upon me financially, that like I just the fact that I'm still alive and kicking And the thing is, I could. It's so funny that like her family is like, even though like I'm over it, I don't cast any stones at any of them. Like I'm not even mad at her
Yeah.
anymore, dude. It's not even her. It's
Right.
just society. But like
Yeah.
her family like tries to like throw rocks at me and shit. I was like,
I see. Yeah.
do you not get it, dude? Like, you guys are being domestic violence abusers right now. And it's like, oh, being nasty about this online isn't going to help you get your kid. I'm like, well, your fucking nephew was the one who started fucking telling me how shitty that I was when I was just minding my own business, going about my life,
Yeah.
right? And it's dumb, but this should be pretty simple, man.
Well, time heals, man. That's all I gotta say.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean,
and that's the thing too is I mean, I think I told you, right, bro, that like even though all the shitty things are going on, I'm happier than I've ever
yeah.
been. Like
I'm happy to see that.
it sucks I can't see my kid, but everything else is just so fucking amazeballs. Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like God is just like, no matter how much the state and the system and the patriarchy tries to fuck with me, God just keeps on dropping off blessings in my life, you know? Just like,
Right.
okay, well, shit. Because, like, and the thing is, like, a lot of people, Katrina, my girl that I went to LA with and just had the most amazing time with, and I'm supposed to go on a date with her tonight, kind of, but I think I'm blowing her off for you right now. Um, I mean, I'll tell her she can come play with us if she wants, but like this is gonna be
Right.
fun to
Well,
see
I'm
too.
probably not gonna be out too much longer anyway.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah. I forget you're 3 hours ahead of me, homie. We've done so much of
yeah,
this fucking all night bullshit all these years.
I
Um,
kind of fixed my sleeping hours too, and
oh, that's good, buddy.
it it's helped a lot. I've been a night owl for a long time,
Me
and
too. And I also have fixed my sleeping schedule. And you know what did it? Having people in
what?
my life that gave me dopamine.
Oh yeah.
I realized that the only reason I was grinding tech so fucking hard was because I was getting all of my neurotransmitters from my hustle. That was like and I was just like completely dopamine fucking deficient, right? Now all I do is
Yeah.
just touch grass and hang out with the homies until like I have somebody who knows a million times more about this shit than I will, who's willing to like play, and I'm like, oh, let's go play. But like I have 37 projects, and if I'm sitting here by myself, I don't want to work on any of them. But if anybody else is like, oh hey, let's fucking nerd out, I'm like, shit, yeah. Parallel play is
That's
the
awesome.
autistic person's love language.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's good. You have work. I got a lot of work too, man. It's crazy
Well, I
because
don't. So I don't have. That's the thing. Like it's so fucking weird. My whole life, the only thing that I've had that has been a survival thing for me is fucking tech skills. And it's so funny that
yeah,
I was so busy like eking out survival and being a drug addict and a pariah and just a fuck up and traumatized and shit and being a
yeah,
fucking really toxic and terrible guy for most of my life. Um,
mhm,
there was a lot of discovery along that way. When
right.
I was in the same situation, I was shitting on people for in a previous life, and I'm like, oh, I am that person now. Oops.
Uh,
And I think that most people
yeah,
don't ever get that type of reckoning, and it's because they don't ever go so far fucking raw dog Kerouac and Thompson and Bukowski that they fuck their lives up, you know?
yeah.
But my girl is just so great, and my friends are awesome, and I'm doing cool
That's
shit.
great, man.
So,
Yeah, I heard all about you, and you've done amazing as far as I know.
well, I
Um,
mean, the thing is too is that you know me to be a person where I will be the first one to call out like, hell yeah, here's this toxic, maladaptive, shitty thing I'm doing to shitty people, right? You know, like I don't need like so many people have confused the difference between being kind with being polite, you know?
yeah,
And
right.
the really big difference there is when like it's like just expressing radical candor, you know, like some people will not have the emotional maturity. They'll just be like, I'm just really blunt and I just say it how it is. It's like there's a difference between being emotionally insensitive and just fucking like, you know, hitting people with whatever, and then being like, look here, I'm trying to be have radical candor with you, where I just cut through all the bullshit that most fucking humans do to like try to get their way through some kind of like cheese maze fucking puzzle. And I'm just like, I would like to do this thing. Would you like to do this thing? Cool, sweet. Let's do this thing. You know? Um,
Hey, I can hear you now.
oh yeah.
There you are. So, yeah, man. I kind of go through. I've been through a few things in my life as
Oh, I
well,
know,
and it
dude.
was
I
like
think I remember you
the
told me.
last
I
thing you
think.
were talking about
Sorry, I
the
didn't want
cheese.
to talk over you. I just want to say, like, you've been through a fucking ringer, homie. So, like, I know you know what it
Yeah,
is.
the cheese grater.
Yep, yep. And that's the thing is I'm just getting to the point in my life where the only people left in my life are the ones that have been through that fucking cheese grater worse than me, homie. Like, and I've been through it fucking bad, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, and that's okay, you know. But so many people that have not been to that level and been through that shit, they just aren't at that point where they can. Like, it's impossible to be honest with other people if you can't be honest with yourself, you know? And just a lot of people don't necessarily get to that, you know, type of actualization, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can relate, I think.
Okay,
You know,
so
I've
I'm
been
gonna
all
try.
about the Zen, trying to find the Zen or be the Zen,
Hmm.
draw some Zen tangles.
Zen tangles. It's fucking great. Oh, okay, I think this will work here. That's not what I was trying to do. That is there now. There are definitely. I hate configuring and figuring out all the bullshit with desktop Linux. But I sure do love the way that the windows work in desktop Linux. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
I
my
use
dick is good.
Tmux, so I'm all CLI guy, so I don't get too much of the Linux desktop, but I use Tmux, which helps if you know what that is.
Yes, I also. Oh, my favorite,
Yeah, of course you do.
my favorite fucking T-Bucks thing. Oh my T-Bucks, bruh. This is the best T-Bucks config file of all time. Mm-mm.
Self-contained, pretty versatile. Cool.
Mm-mm. 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 I think maybe I need to go to your studio. I don't know. Wah, 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 wah. So it says new comments will display here. Invite guests, default brand folder, chat. Social comments will display here. Private chat. Privately talk to the host, other guests. Mm, mm. it's such a fucking pain, man. Because OBS always loses these settings, man, or I'm just incompetent
Yep.
when it comes to configuring it. Um,
Yeah.
mm,
That's
mm,
why I use Streamlabs. But it's always got like some default configuration like you got there that you can set up real quick.
right. I don't need fucking chat anyways, whatever. It's not like anybody's gonna watch it. Uh, uh, but you see the way that that looks right there in that little thing? It has the power on the bottom, and my favorite part, and
Oh yeah.
I can kind of demonstrate here. What I like is this is I can uh, uh, that same thing, the power line symbols there. I have that for power line too, right? So it tells you when you're on SSH with something.
Is that Visual Studio you're in?
Yeah, this is VS Code.
Okay.
And I have a pretty solid little thing here. So now with VS Code, you can just sign in with a GitHub account or whatever to sync your settings. But before they had that functionality, I had a settings sync app, so I've had like the same settings for a long time, and it works really well. Do you ever work in an IDE much?
Not too often.
Not too
I did
often.
some mobile apps work over the past few years, but not too much.
Right, right. Okay.
I've worked with them on and off uh, for like 20 years, but not that doesn't mean anything because I just did either classwork or a job here and there. I wasn't like constantly in it
Yeah, totally.
all the time.
You and I are the same, man. We were systems engineers, sysadmins, hosting guys, web guys, that
Yep,
figure it the fuck out guys. Never like,
yep,
software guys, And it's so
yep.
funny how all the software guys would always shit on us in those days, and now with DevOps, it's just like, oh, hey, look out. Software's number
Yeah,
7, DevOps engineer number
that's
1.
that's what I consider I do. As DevOps is that's pretty much what I've been doing a lot of for a while. Oh, we got some July 4th going on. Fifth, 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 fifth. That's terrible. But yeah. So uh, I tell you a script to pull, but the guy recently just put it down and he deprecated it in favor of this documentation.
hmm Yeah,
But there's
and
a Git.
I'm taking this documentation. I'm gonna turn it into Terraform, bro.
Okay, and I was asking about that Terraform earlier because there's Terraform Kubernetes, and I was wondering how that integrated. So um, if you've heard of that, uh, is it the same thing or is it like I don't know. I'm just like starting to look into Terraform myself. So might as well since I have all these servers all over the place. So,
yeah. It's something that the thing about it, brother, is that the learning curve is just fucking astronomical, bro.
right. I bet.
Astronomical. It's
I
gonna
can
take
tell you that
like
I can
it.
tell you that I was able to get a dashboard working.
Mhm.
Kubernetes dashboard.
I have been grinding away at this shit for basically fucking 3 years, man. 4 years. 4 years
Okay.
now. And I'm barely getting to the point where I'm competent. I mean, I'm good enough to get an L3 job at HashiCorp. I would have been an L4 if all this stupid fucking shit with my wife didn't happen by the end of the year, right? But like,
Yeah.
all that shit happened, so I
So,
did.
you're right. So I guess let's see, 10 uh almost 10 years experience in this kind of stuff, but not, I'm talking infrastructure,
Hmm.
not Kubernetes,
Yeah, it's the
just
same with me,
using
man.
legacy,
And
using legacy stuff.
that's the thing, dude. Is that this is what? So you know me. I tell everyone
So
and
I'm
their
hoping
dog.
it helps.
I, I'm
It
I'm
should help.
I'm telling everyone and their dog that HashiCorp is the coolest company in the world. Just one sec.
Yeah, totally.
One of the only frustrating things about my tenure at HashiCorp, aside from what I'm going through right now, is the whole thing about I told them when I interviewed there, I'm like, so I don't know Docker, I don't know Kubernetes, I don't know microservices. I know DevOps, I know CI/CD, I know pipelining, I know Terraform, I know AWS and Azure and shit, but I do not know anything really about freaking Kubernetes. They're like, oh, it's fine, they'll figure it out. I still
Right.
don't know anything about Kubernetes. It is just a mystery to me. But
So here's what I learned so far.
mhm,
Pods, and you have to, those pods are continuously running, right?
mhm,
And each pod provides a service, right? So you got your, and then your namespace. So you have all the pods go into whatever namespace they need to be in. And so you got like a networking Ingress namespace, and then you got your dashboard namespace, and then your cube system namespace, and that all works together, um, to create whatever it is, like your dashboard. So my goal would be to replace virtualizer. So like I use virtualizer to create VMs in different locations and assign it IPs and do all that stuff.
mhm,
Create an OS template or just to run an app or something like that. I can cut all that out if I use Kubernetes. I'll be able to deploy instead of a whole VM with an operating system that or everything like that.
mhm,
I can just deploy a pod that runs the app, and it cuts out a whole layer of of this. I forgot what it's called, but just the whole layer of the OS, and just keeps everything. Everything's not as separate. It runs. It's separate by the pods basically. So instead of having 20 VMs, it's all one server with 20 different pods. So that's how I understand it. I
mhm.
think. Does that sound accurate?
It
Or
does, yeah,
okay. So I just need to learn it.
right. You and me both, brother.
Yeah, and I'm looking at a lot of different things. I was interested in the ease of the dashboard, so they have different dashboards with different plugins and things like that. So you can use the regular Kubernetes dashboard and implement things as you see fit. And then you can also use Lens, which can be installed in Windows, so you can have it on like your laptop or something like that. And you should have like more than one dashboard. So that's how I take. That's like a good way to run things if you have like three or more different dashboards you can use. Um, is that's sounds about right to you?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So I was thinking about doing the Kubernetes dashboard that I could visit on a website, use a token to log in or whatever.
Oh,
And then,
so it's really kind of a pain in the ass to set up, but if you want to have
yeah,
Kubernetes on your resume, and there's a guy who's really good at this shit, or there's several guys who are really good at this shit on this server, but Dan Manners, he's a SRE at Cisco, and
yeah,
if you look at his posts at Home Lab, he has like the coolest fucking Kubernetes Home Lab in the universe, I bet. And
Right.
it's all on his GitHub. If you look at his commits, he's just like a fucking madman, and he is the guy to steal the reference architecture from. What he does is he uses OIDC, SAML, OAuth, whatever from his GitHub account.
Yeah.
He has a GitHub organization set up, and he has
Okay.
SAML set up with that. And that way, or to G Suite or whatever Google Enterprise. I can't remember exactly how he does it, but he has an OAuth, OIDC, fucking SAML, cross-site fucking thing, right? And
Yeah.
that way, he doesn't have to have different RBAC, tokens, keys, API, whatever, all that shit for different resources. It's just it's like a single sign-on. That's another
Oh
project
yeah.
I'm working on right now. I'm trying to integrate Okta with Google Enterprise just with Terraform, and it's interesting. Um,
That's pretty cool. Yeah. So I was gonna check out Lens too. I don't know if you mess with that one.
what's
Uh.
oh yeah, Lens is really cool. A lot of people I know use Lens. Also, K9S is another one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But every time I try to do anything though, I mean, even if I just use kubectl, I'm just a moron, and so.
Yeah. It takes like I downloaded a Udemy class, a couple of them on Kubernetes, like one for beginners and one for advanced, and you still have to do a ton of homework. It's like so I've got like a basic noob understanding of it all. I just have to put it in application, which I've tried to do quite a few times, and I've had some successful Kubernetes dashboards and all that. But I keep getting sidetracked by having an enormous amount of work building nodes and trying to maintain. So it's like I keep jumping back and forth.
Mhm.
Then once I learn it all, then I have to migrate everything to that system.
Mhm.
So it's like it'll be awesome though. So it'll be so much easier to manage.
Mhm.
And then we can get into the excuse me, the 1,000 node range. I should be able to run like 1,000 nodes or more with that.
Heck yeah, man! I would love to help out with that.
Woohoo!
Mhm.
I gotta sneeze.
Do it. Get it.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Do you know where the committer, like the commit contributors, all contributor specifications, use the product review, all contributor table, contributing docs.
So yeah, interesting times, man. We're having like a technological revolution here,
Oh yeah,
like
we're doing
so
it.
many other things.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see. Cause we're gonna need.
And it's like global. It's like community, all kinds of cool stuff.
Mhm. Yeah.
Everybody's having to work hard to implement it.
Yeah, it's really cool shit, man. Decentralized infrastructure. Not powerful.
Just wait for all the games and apps and new things on websites and all that. Everything's gonna migrate over to the Web3 stuff eventually. Facebook. Uh, what else? There's just
Oh,
so
that
many.
that sucks right there. See that Pocket Foundation blob? That's um.
Oh, you're at the foundation.
Well,
So are
I
you
was
trying?
trying to see learn how to
You want to get the
contribute.
binary for it?
Well, no, no, no,
Oh,
no, 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 no. I
oh, you
noticed.
want to contribute?
Yeah, well, I just noticed just as I was fucking with this. I was just noticing this when I was forking it. Because I was noticing that like in their documentation I could do better. So I was gonna submit a pull request. But I just didn't know what they wanted it to be.
I'm
Uh,
hardly ever at this GitHub. The other GitHub for
mhm,
Pocket Core. So you can probably get to it from Pocket
mhm,
Foundation if you wanted to download Pocket. You go to Pocket Core,
mhm.
and then you can see all the releases there and some good info as well. And that's where I get it. That's how I install it. They have different ways to install it. You can use Brew, uh, and there's also Node Pilot, which is pretty interesting. And if you want to contribute, you can join their Discord and join one of their groups and
Yeah, can you send me a link
work
to the
your ways.
Discord?
Yeah, one moment.
Oh, hey baby, how's it going? I love you, baby. Hey, check this out. A accidental thing happened where one of my brilliant savant friends that can teach me something is on a call with me. So if you want to come here to DevOps in real life or just watch the stream from your house, that would be a thing. But I'm gonna keep him until he doesn't need me anymore, until I run out of steam on this, because it's making me feel better about my life to actually work on something instead of just lounge about. Oh, I got the, you could, yeah, you could come here. How about this? How about you come here and watch the show a little bit, because we're gonna watch the show anyways. I'll play with my buddy, and then I could be in this room doing the little thing, and then you and I could talk, and then because he's only got a little more time left before he's got to sign off, and then you and I could talk and shit, and then like yeah. No, no, yeah. Yeah, baby, yeah. Okay, love you. Bye. Want to be a full-fledged cyberpunk bounty, providing evidence. The trophies channel on Discord. Um, Mm, mm, mm. Completing the following bounty and providing evidence. What is the bounty? I'm confused. Yeah. I'm still not even able to figure out like where the fucking contribution guides are. Like, what do we need? Like, there's contribute to the ecosystem, not there. Pink. So there's member of the DAO. Post a selfie to the verified channel. Holding a piece of paper, your Discord username and the day's date. Okay, so maybe that's what I need to do. You're verified and verify. Okay. And today's date. What the fuck is today's date? Oh, cool. Sweet. I still have that in the background there, but that's for later. That was funsies. Well, we don't need that anymore either. I'm just, it's just really killing me that they're not doing PRs, or they just like committing directly to it, or for PAP checks, no conflicts, or doing something. I don't even know what the fuck. So let's look at this commits. Mm. Ugh. Oh my goodness. Oh, hi Patrick. How's it going, bud? Mm-mm. Oh,
Oh, I unmuted myself.
you've been muted
Oh
this
my
whole time,
goodness.
homie. Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
I haven't
I,
heard you for a while.
I was talking the whole time too. It's pretty funny. It's terrible.
uh,
It's terrible.
more user
So,
friendly.
where can I go back to? So I sent you that GitHub, and you can use that. It's a basically it's just deprecated, and I can tell you what to change to make it current.
Hmm.
It's just a text file change, and just basically follow those instructions, and that's kind of like the shortcut to the docs. So if you want to, we kind of use them hand in hand, the
Hmm.
docs and this, to kind of go answer your questions and things like that. And then I'm there, So if you have any questions or get stuck, you can just hit me up, and then you have the Discord, Pocket Discord. Join the Node Runners channel. There is a also a weekly community call where you can go ask questions and participate, even earn, uh, meet some people, earn like trophies and things like that, just for participating. Um, there's all kinds of things uh, you can earn uh, in that Discord there, and that's where you submit all the ranks and your trophies also. So now you know pretty much everything, like where to begin. And um, that's pretty much it, I think. I've been doing all this for a year and a half. It took me a while because I was new to blockchain technology to begin with, and
Mm-hmm.
it took me a little while to understand. Like it blew my mind when I like started understanding blockchain. This was like January or February last year. Like I mean, I always had an idea of it, you know, and how it worked, and I've invested, you know, going back to 2016, and I try to know how, but I never like had an idea of like how it worked in the back. Um, Basically, all of this stuff, Web3, is bringing the old web back. Uh, like before it became Facebook and that kind of stuff, you know, like just integrating a lot of legacy stuff. It's interest. It's just crazy because it takes all this legacy stuff to run it. You know, you're talking just Linux and some dependencies, and the whole thing is just like managing data, I guess. And it's supposed to be like secure and incorruptible and or correctable, I should say. And it has a purpose, and it's a big one. So in the future, like everything you're looking at on your desktop will probably be integrated, uh, you know, with all the web apps and dApps out there. Uh, like if you play games online through Steam, even, you know, eventually those games will be integrated, uh, pulling data from the blockchain, like a history of kind of thing. It's like when all of a sudden 20 years ago when they created the first MMORPG, you know, this is like the next level kind of thing that can
Mm-hmm.
handle all that kind of stuff. And then you can bring it to real life. You can add it to life, like because it has tokens and people accept those tokens and eventually cash out for cash. Uh, so it's like you could go get a job playing some video game in an MMORPG to uh, like crafting skills or something, and then sell it on in the game, like in game marketplace,
Mm-hmm.
and then um, like if you're a seller, for example, someone's going to pay you whatever the in game token is, and then you can take what they pay you and then sell it at the exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, and exchange it for cash in Coinbase or whatever straight to your bank account. So it kind of gives it puts a whole new aspect on all this kind of stuff. You know, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So they're talking about now like a possibility of creating like a way to fund power plants. You know, utilities, uh, things of that nature, using Web3 uh, technology. So uh, it, it just it's crazy. Uh, but that's where I see it going, you know, in like you know 10, 20 years. They're already talking about Web 5. Like that's just a kind of like it's kind of like Web 3, the gimmick name for it, you know, in short. Um, just one name for all of it, all this kind of technology. And then I heard the term Web 5 recently. And to me, that's just the same as Web 3, you know? So it's just some guy trying to get clicks out there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or he's talking about Web 5, it was a big guy too, like famous, and
Hmm.
but it's the same thing as Web3 what he was talking about, which is integrating websites and other things into Web3. Web3 can already do that. They just haven't. Uh, it's in its like 1980 late 80s version of Web3. If you know what I'm saying, like when the internet was in the 80s to what it is today.
Hmm.
That's what Web3 is right now. It's like the 80s version,
Hmm.
and so uh, there's going to be a lot of um, there's just a lot of potential, in even implementing it into healthcare, uh, like their whole system, you know. Um, but the nature of the blockchain is public, so but I'm sure there's ways you can make it private as well.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
but
Well, I mean, you just put encrypted an encrypted payload with a key that's only held privately onto the blockchain. That would the same way that like my SSH key is like if you just go to GitHub and my public SSH key is on there, right? But unless you have my passphrase and my fucking uh, file, my RSA key, you wouldn't be able to use it, right?
right, right. But
Hey,
still, the
I'm gonna go
the
grab a
data.
dab rig and I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh man.
Welcome back.
Thank you, homie. To any of my concerned fucking viewers, this is just marijuana distillates. It's legal in Washington State in the United States where we are at right now. TikTok gets pissed about weed because the Chinese. The Chinese really do not want anyone getting high.
I uninstalled TikTok recently.
Oh yeah? Was it getting to
Yeah.
you or?
No, not at all. I was thinking Chicom,
You were
the
what?
Chicoms. It's the Chicoms.
Oh, you're
They're
just
gonna
talking like
they're gonna
fucking.
they're gonna hacksor me.
Oh no, dude, that's not their play at all. Their play is that they
I
create a
know.
better product than all of Silicon Valley put together. It's capitalizing on Americans' ignorance and that our teenagers would rather be doing stupid dances while their teenagers are learning how to
Yeah,
steal all of our money and do all of our things.
yeah, exactly. Their stuff was their goals to steal your information. So okay,
No,
now
not
we have
your
a database.
information. They're trying to get you stuck on TikTok about
Oh,
shit
that
that does
too.
not
Yeah.
make you more money and make you more intelligent and make the world and the community better. And then they are using TikTok to make their kids have only like download and information into them, right? Like it's about
It's like
it's
watching.
about mind control. It's not about fucking
It's
collecting your
watching the boob
info.
tube, man. I used it a lot, for a few months, and just watching TV. You just go pick a channel, and then you pick your favorite channel, or add to them, add what do you call it, subscribe or whatever, and that's it. You just get rundowns of different people around the world, and it's pretty weird and cool at the same time. I saw some real interesting stuff. This one guy, he's Chinese. He's sitting on a boat, and he's a fisherman. And all he would do is catch a whole bunch of fish and cook them right in front of you. Throw them in a pan, and octopus, clams, everything you can think of. And he's laughing about it. Ha ha ha. And then he cooks it real quick. He puts spices on it the whole time, and then he starts eating it. And when he's eating it, he's real because it's so hot. He's like, it's hilarious how you see it, and he's like fighting his food. It's crazy. It's just, and he's yelling the whole time. And then there's just a whole bunch of everything, dude. There's a guy that all he does is just fart everywhere. Just walks around and farts in different rooms, and um, so you got your your brain drain uh, tube TV right there, all in one app. TikTok. So I uninstalled it because there are security vulnerabilities, and I'm sure if there was some real bad ones, Google Play would have just taken it right off. Um, but they do steal your data, and and I think there's an agreement where they're not supposed to do that. So that's what that's about, because they have the Chinese TikTok, and then they have the American TikTok.
Mhm.
So pretty interesting. There's a whole like thing around that, uh, like story. Uh, but I felt I should uninstall it. Like I got bad vibes from it.
Mhm.
Initially, I was going to use it as my new company that I rebranded to. It's called Wired Nodes. That was the screen name,
Mhm.
and then I found out what it was all about, and so I just kept it around and watched it sometimes. I had some friends on there. Well, hey man, I'm gonna crush out, and you got everything you need now. I think you can always just hit me up
Yeah.
or whatever. I'm probably gonna be in the developers guild there sometime this week because I'm doing all this new stuff now. Now that I finished building out 80 nodes, which is a project I started around 2 months ago. Um, I'm done with that. Now I gotta move on to other things like Grafana and Prometheus and um, Kubernetes. So I'm sure I'll have some more questions here in the next week.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Heck yeah, man.
uh, and don't forget the weekly community call
Oh, what's up?
at noon.
When is that? Where do I find info on that?
It's in the Pocket Discord.
Oh yeah,
So we hang out in the Node Runner channel.
okay.
Uh, but Chris is there too. He's Jinx, or he's actually the Poctopus now. So they call him the Poctopus, and he's on Twitter. I don't know if you follow him on Twitter too,
Yeah, I do, but I don't really look at Twitter, homie. It's not really a thing I do that much.
right? I don't either. That's why mine's kind of like blank, but it has all these achievements on it, and I haven't posted on it other than that in like 2 years probably or
Mm-hmm.
more. And so I just go on there. I got tired of it too because every time um, I would get a notification, it was about Elon, and I'm like after 2 months of getting a notification about Elon every day almost, you're like, I'm tired of this fucking guy. let me
Right.
let me dive in and see what I got to do to unfollow Elon. And so that's how much I use Twitter,
Right.
and just more so the last year because of the Pocketpuss and all this pocket stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And that has been a
so
pretty fucking happening sort of a thing going on, right?
yeah, uh, for me at least, and there's a big community there, and it went global. So they have a large Telegram place too. So there's all kinds of channels on Telegram
Mm-hmm.
for the Pocket Network. They got the official Pocket Network, and then it just goes from there. You got a trade channel, an OTC channel, um, a PoxCan channel, TPOX. You got the Poctopus Den. You got the Poctopus Trade Price Talk. There's just so much in there. Uh, and I kind of sift through it like on a daily basis, just to stay current and trying to see where everything's going. So there's a lot to it, and it's a full time job for me, more than a full time actually.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then I'm doing that and running my old web business. I have a web hosting and then do management for a few accounts, and so that's basically my whole gig. And the game company. So I have a game hosting server company as well,
Mm-hmm.
and that does Minecraft and stuff like that. So that was that all that together keeps me like working probably 60 hours a week, sometimes 80. So hopefully one of these days I'll be able to afford some employees. They can run it all for me.
Well, just automate it, bro.
Yeah, I mean most of it's automated. That's why I can do it.
Bro, if you wanna pay me, man,
Still a lot.
I'm on forced disability leave right now, bro, and I'm fucking broke. And so if you need some help with shit, dude, like at least until I get back to my fucking official day job, man, you hit me up, and I'll
You
and
got it. I got Aim to Game, which has tons of potential. It's been around since like 2014 or 2011 or something like that. I bought it off somebody, off another group of people, and they bought it off the original owner, which was smart as hell. He was it was originally a Canadian company, and the guy did Minecraft servers back in 2005 or 2008 or something like that, and made a killing like just in a year or two, and then he sold the company to these guys. He made like $600,000 or something like that in 1 year or 2 years,
mm-hmm.
and these guys that owned it, they owned it for like I want to say 5-10 years or something like that, and I don't remember. To, I just remember the story. I don't remember the exact dates, because this was a few years ago that I acquired it back in like 2016, I think. And anyway, they kind of ran it into the ground, and then I took it over, and basically it's kept its remaining clients. When I first got it, it was just it was nice to have because it was paying all the bills for the company I currently ran.
Mhm.
So it was like a bonus for me. And then I made my money back that I spent on it pretty quickly within the first year, and it's just been surviving. So, and I've just been maintaining it. I haven't changed it much. I've had all these plans, but I haven't been able to implement it yet. And so there's a lot of potential there. And I'll show you the panel and all that. And there might be some good, useful stuff to do there. And for you, if you could
Mhm.
figure it out, which I'm sure you can. And what else? The just the management and accounts, all that stuff is like WordPress and Mailchimp. I send out mailers for some companies, so I might like have need you to take over for like a week or two so I can go on vacation or something. Or if I'm working too hard somewhere else, I would be like, hey, can you take care of this?
Yeah, man,
These few
definitely.
tasks.
Yeah, I would really love to be a resource for you, man. I really like you. We get along great. When I am back to my regular day job, my resources will be a lot more like finite, you know. But right now, I pretty
Yeah,
much have been sitting around my thumb up my ass, broke, needing something to do, itching, climbing up the walls, crawling out of my skin. So,
right, right. Well, we'll stay in touch.
keeping me busy will be more of a favor than the money, but I still need money if that makes sense.
Yeah, we'll stay in touch because it's a lot of stuff to go over. And even though, like, right now the market's down and all that kind of stuff, and I have no business trying to pay somebody, there's still, that's not gonna, who knows? That might not be the
Hmm.
case in 3 months. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Hmm.
um, if you could just start, training would take that long anyway. I would think, just to get used to everything.
Right,
Um, so I hear more fireworks.
right.
It's a battle of Gettysburg.
It's getting there, man.
Or actually, no, no, no. This would have been something else. Like what battles happened in 1776 besides like
Oh, I
can't
really
remember it
am
now.
not too good on the Revolutionary War. I'm a little bit better at World War II. I watched a lot of World War II documentaries.
All right, man. I'm gonna call it a night and let you go get with your lady friend, and we'll keep in touch.
Heck yeah, buddy. It was good to see you, man.
Yeah, you too. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah,
Have a good
take
night.
care. Okay, bye.
Bye. If I can figure out how to leave.
Right?
See ya.
For real, buddy. It's not as fun without somebody to play with. Hey, I just want to. No, he dropped off, and I kind of lost steam. Now that I don't have somebody to play with. I was like strapped in for like a long one, you know. But, hmm Sounds great, man. See you soon. Oh, that is amazing. Just some monster low carb, maybe. Yeah, that's it. I don't know if you ha Oh, never mind. I'll be fine. I'll just drink tea. Shit, it's like 9 already, so I may as well just not have more caffeine today, probably.